there creators, Niamh here, and yeah, so today I'm doing the first layer of my painting here. What I'm doing is some Celtic knots for a basically just a decoration piece for our house. And I've kind of explained that in the previous video, which I'll leave a card pop-up for. That previous video I did the drawing for the Celtic knots and transferred them to the canvas. So I didn't finish the painting yet, but so hopefully I'll be done by next week. But I figured since I'm not done with the painting, I can basically just edit what I've done so far, which was basically just painting of the Celtic knots. So right now I'm just filling in the in between, the negative space of the Celtic knots. So it's kind of this burnt orangey color. I can't remember exactly what the paint color I use, some sort of burnt sienna. And by the end of this, the background part, I did realize that the burnt orange color, the burnt sienna, was a little bit too dark. I'm trying to emulate the other painting that I did, which was from like a year and a half ago, so my recollection on exactly which colors I used is very poor. I don't know exactly which colors I used, and I'm sort of guessing in it, and there were a lot of different layers that I did on it, so it's not, I can't just like look at it and know exactly what colors I used. So I'm kind of doing a bit of a guesswork, and it's okay if it's not exactly the same as the other one. So this first layer that I'm putting down of the like these burnt sienna color is a little bit too dark. So after I put in the gold of the actual knots themselves, I do go back and start glazing on top some different colors. So yeah. So while I'm painting the background here, I thought maybe I'd talk about a little bit of other things that I'm doing in my life right now that maybe aren't exactly art related, but kind of Celtic-y related, and that's that I am trying to solve a family mystery. It's actually pretty fun. One of my other hobbies is genealogy, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. I love researching, and I get totally sucked in into it. And my learning channel, Niamh Learns, it was part of it was a language learning channel, and I also kind of had it as a gaming channel of sorts, but I decided to really move all those gaming videos to a more appropriate channel. So I did make a new channel. I just haven't moved those gaming videos over yet, and basically make my Niamh Learn channel a lot more about learning, and especially about languages and genealogy. Well, anyway, so recently I started a series on that channel where I'm going over my family history, and and before I get into that, I'm using some glazing medium here to glaze over, put the brown and start glazing over the top of this knotwork, and I've figured out where I want each thing to go over and under. So once I make that decision, every other part of the knot has to correlate with that. So it is a bit tricky to go through and try to make sure I'm not messing up and going over when I should go under, or vice versa. But anyway, so like I said, one of the things I'm doing is talking about a family mystery, and it's basically my great-great-grandfather was, my great-grandfather was adopted, and so because of that, we don't know what our I guess true last name was supposed to be. My maiden name is from the family that adopted my great grandfather. So we don't know my true maiden name, I guess. and it's not just that, it's more that we're just kind of interested. We want to know the background. But anyway, I did a whole video on that, and it's a series, and I also did some DNA tests, and yesterday I posted the results of my DNA test. So I'm gonna leave if you guys are interested in it, I'm gonna leave a card pop-up to that playlist, and right now there's only 2 videos in it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and they're very long videos, they're 30 to 40 minutes long, so they're quite long videos. I won't be bothered if you watch on double speed or skip ahead a little bit. But yeah, if you're interested in watching people go over their DNA tests or talk about genealogy and yada yada, definitely go check that out. Yeah. So after I'm done going over all the Celtic knots, or the where they go over and under, marking the lines themselves. After I'm done doing that, it's a little, like I said before, it's a little too dark. It's a little too bright. It's definitely not as my other painting was a lot more muted. So you'll see pretty soon that I'll start going over. I'll be mixing some green with some of the glazing medium, and kind of going over some of the knotwork and the background, and just kind of dulling down the color. But it does get to be a little bit too green, so I do go over some of that again with some gold and the orange in the background, just to going back and forth to kind of to just get the color right. And it's not going to be perfect, like I said, because it's very difficult to get something exactly how you're, kind of get 2 paintings be exactly the same, especially when one of those paintings you did like a year and a half ago, so it is a bit difficult to get that exact. But yeah, and so here I am. I'm also getting the middle part done too, the purple. Just painting the whole middle area. So with the other painting, the background was more kind of gold, and it had hints of purple in it, but it was mostly gold. And the middle part, the actual design itself, was a thistle. So a thistle is purple. And so you got the green of the bottom of the thistle, and then the green of the leaves, and then the thistle itself is purple. And so for this one, since I'm doing shamrocks, I want the background to be purple, so that the shamrocks, which are mostly green, maybe with some shades of yellow in there, are so that it stands out, and so that we still have that purple in there, because the main colors that I'm going for are green, gold, and purple, which are the colors of the main part of our house. So yeah, and so here I am going over using that green with some glazing medium, and it is too green at first because I don't quite want it to be this green, but it does really help. The green really helps to tone down the color so it's not so bright. And yeah, so so we're getting near the end of the video here, and it's kind of a quick video this week because I just spent this week working on the knotwork part of the painting. At the end here, I do go over, once everything's dry and how I like it, I do go over you know, do the tracing paper, the graphite transfer paper, that's what it's called, and transfer the oval part, the lines for that over top of it. Sorry if you can hear the dog. She's barking at something outside. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I have a lot more of this painting done next week, hopefully the whole thing, and I'll see you guys next week. Later, creators. Bye.